It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. Gents and ladies, no time to waste. Don't be afraid, it's time to trade. Let's start your brains like high-speed trains. Storm these games like hurricanes. It's time to save this herd this days. Put on your cape and learn the phrase. It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. And I can see clearly now the fate is gone. No longer the obstacle standing in my way. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I'll get knocked down. F what you said, it don't mean crap now. Screw your rate hikes, might as well throw 'em out. The fundamentals, they didn't mean jack. Screw you, you fed, I don't want you back. Ha! No, I'm really not that funny, and I know that, but that's okay. I want to welcome you back to another episode of TA with MK. My name is McKay, and today we're going to start out with the SPX. Just to kind of tell you what I'm thinking, or forecasting potentially over the next few days, or at least the next few hours to a day. We'll go ahead and jump right into it. If you're liking the content, remember to like and subscribe, and let's go. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to focus a little bit more than I usually do anyway, on the SPX or the S&P 500. Just some ideas as far as what potentially could happen, might happen, probably won't happen. But yeah, so this is the SPX daily chart, right? And I mentioned yesterday that we've been in this falling wedge, right? So we've got this trend line up here, trend line down here, and we closed yesterday. We'll be opening here actually really soon. Time I get this video posted, we'll be open, but I wanted to get the video out early because of that. And we're not far below this trend line resistance. We've also got these moving averages, the yellow being the 200 simple on the daily, and the blue being the 200 exponential or the EMA, that will all act as overhead resistance, right? So for the bullish standpoint, and we know Bitcoin follows the SPX rather closely lately, and so for the bullish standpoint for both the regular traditional stocks and Bitcoin would be for this to break out, obviously retest and trend higher. But what I wanted to suggest was the possibility that maybe we do get rejected the first go around, and only because that's a lot of resistance to get through on one try. And then maybe we kind of trend back down here and retest this green level I've marked as support. And I'll kind of zoom out here in a second, explain a little bit more why. Okay, so now I have zoomed out a bit more, and I want you to pay attention to a couple levels. If anything, pause the video and write these down, or we'll just circle back and kind of help you to follow when I'm going here. I'm actually gonna leave that in there. Sometimes I decide to stutter and then I cut it out, but no, that seems like you need to see that. You need to see me not know how to speak English, because that happens to me at least 10 times every video, where all of a sudden words that are in the English language, which is my first language, just decide to just not come out. But anyway, we're gonna get the paintbrush. Okay, so back here in June of last year, right, we found resistance at this green box that I put on the chart, and then it was able to break through it and flip this green box as support right around the end of July. Write that down, right? Then it trended up and found this red box I have marked as resistance, had a pretty good pullback. Lo and behold, it used that same green box, even a little bit higher low, but the top of the green zone as support, and then went on its little run, right? All right, then fast forward to a little bit more recent price action, and between the 8th and the 14th of March, we put in a little double bottom at this lower level of support. And then yesterday, after the Fed news came out and stuff, and stocks kind of bounced, we broke back above this green box at the moment, right? And now I want to hop over to the Bitcoin daily chart and just show you a couple of things that kind of line up with what was going on with the SPX during that time. Over here in April of last year, we had our top right around like 65K. We trended down. We found our bottom right at July 20th, 21st, right? Down here just below 29K. And then we had our run up we found a top at 50, just over 50, almost 51K, right? And then we retraced back and flipped this key zone of resistance as support, right between the end of September and more or less the beginning of October, just like on the SPX chart. All right, so that's not really groundbreaking in itself. We already know Bitcoin's highly correlated with traditional stocks, with institutions and stuff. So it just, what I found interesting was, so here on the Bitcoin chart, back on July 20th, right, where I said it had its bottom, that was when the S&P was flipping this level right here as support. It had broken through it, was flipping as support, started to trend higher. Bitcoin obviously broke out, went higher. Well, Bitcoin comes up, breaks up to around 51K, comes back. Now, this is a different level for Bitcoin that it's trying to flip as support, but that was right as the S&P was retesting this same zone as support and then went higher again. Bitcoin went on a run, found resistance. S&P 500 finds resistance. I guess what I find interesting, if we move over here with Bitcoin, is as Bitcoin is now down here at the, where it's at now, we'll say, and is trying to break through current resistance, the S&P 500, that same zone, which was the zone that it confirmed as support, broke through and confirmed as support when Bitcoin was at its last local bottom, is the same zone it's breaking through right now as Bitcoin's trying to make its next move. So I guess all I'm trying to say is that clearly this level on the SPX, or the S&P 500, is an important level, right? Well, this is what I propose is possible. I already said at the start of the video we're looking for the breakout, retest up, or retrace, but what seems the most likely to me with this being such an important zone is that it's going to get retested. Now that does represent for the S&P 500, if stocks opened today, maybe this takes a day or two, but that does represent anywhere from like a 2%, to the bottom of the zone, I guess a 1.5 to 2.5%-ish potential drop, but that would be the most bullish to me. I don't really consider retraces bearish at all. That as long as the support holds up, that's exactly what a support resistance flip is, and that's what you want to see from a bullish perspective. So it wouldn't be entirely bad to see this come back down right where this wick was over here, retest this again somewhere in this green box, flip this area as support, and then maybe down here it's able to break out, retest and trend higher. Now we'll keep an eye on that. I would imagine that for Bitcoin, let's pull back up its regular daily chart. I would imagine that for Bitcoin, that could represent a, obviously a bigger pullback than the S&P 500. Everything that the S&P 500 does, Bitcoin's probably going to do by times 2 or 3. So let's just say right now, 40,800 is where we're at now. Let's go from the top where it got to about 41.6. Let's say that it pulls back about 6%. So let's just say that it comes back down here and it could wick as low as, say, 39K today, maybe even below that, maybe like 38.7. Those are lower levels of key support in the past. But what I'd be looking for today, or at least over the next 24 to 48 hours, is that no matter what Bitcoin does, I'm not trying to predict what its exact bottom will be, but I want to see a daily close, probably by tomorrow's daily close. Today would be even more bullish, but I want to see that daily close. Today would be nice if it closes over 39.8, and then tomorrow, or today or tomorrow, stay above 40,300. I think those are the key levels we're looking for. There's going to be a lot of volatility over the next 24 hours. So, we could see some crazy wicks to the downside if the S&P is testing that zone. But that's what I'm watching for, because if that support holds for the S&P 500 and it's able to, make a bullish move to the upside, then I do expect potentially a much larger move out of Bitcoin at that point, where maybe it can come back up here, break back over 42, and start, testing some of this upper level that it's struggled with a few times in the past at around 45K. And this time I would actually expect us to break through that. And that is all for this one. We'll put out another video later today with kind of an update after we see how the traditional stock markets open, how the SPX reacts, and then we'll have a little bit more clarity on what to expect out of Bitcoin at that point. If you're liking the content, please remember to like and subscribe. I do appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you later. It's